Friday, Boilers. It's September 22nd, and I'm John Waterworth.
And I'm Anna Kudo. Welcome to the first Fast Track Live newscast of this semester. Here's a look at this week's top stories. 8 days and counting, that's how long Republican and Democratic lawmakers have to prevent the government from going broke.
And with tensions brewing within the GOP, the chances of coming to terms on a plan seem to be dwindling. John Lorink reports.
If Washington, D.C.'s effort to prevent a government shutdown is compared to a football game, it's the fourth quarter and both teams are getting tackled before reaching the end zone.
This is something that House Republicans know very well, that they have to do their jobs. They're the ones to fix this problem.
Long story short, a group of conservative Republicans are demanding major spending cuts, and without them, they won't make a deal.
Elections have consequences. And my folks back home are saying, quit spending this much money.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on Thursday made a procedural move that will allow the Senate to work on a short-term funding bill next week.
We must work in a bipartisan fashion to keep our government open, avoid a shutdown, and avoid inflicting unnecessary pain on the American people. This action will give the Senate the option to do just that.
And it appears some Republicans in D.C. will support actions like this, including Congressman Mike Lawler, who tweeted, quote, "Failure is not an option."
I am not going to be party to a shutdown. It does not serve a purpose. By the way, you save no money. You're going to end up costing the American people more money with the shutdown. So it's really illogical.
In the meantime, everything is up in the air, like a Hail Mary pass in football. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Republican Representative Bob Good of Virginia told CNN that he and some members of the GOP will hold House Speaker Kevin McCarthy accountable if he makes a shutdown-preventing deal with the Democratic Party.
Hunter Biden is suing the Internal Revenue Service. The president's son says the IRS unlawfully disclosed his tax return information, and agents failed to protect his private records. The lawsuit centers around disclosures made by two agents and their lawyers in public statements, congressional testimonies, and interviews. Hunter Biden is seeking all documents involved, $1,000 for each unauthorized disclosure, and attorney's fees.
The Temple University community is in shock after its acting president died suddenly Tuesday afternoon. Joanne Epps was 72. She was attending a memorial service at the university when she fell ill. Epps was taken to the university hospital where she was pronounced dead. There's no word yet on her cause of death. A university spokesperson said Epps served for the university for more than 40 years, rising from a job in the bookstore to the presidency.
Loved at our university than Joanne was. She was a personal friend and mentor to so many of us, and she pushed each of us to be the best versions of ourselves that we possibly could be.
Epps was named acting president in April after the previous president resigned. The spokesman said they were not aware she had any health issues.
The U.S. military is responsible for trillions of dollars of equipment and have strict regulations for keeping this equipment safe and secure. However, two multi-million-dollar fighter jets crashed within just a few days of each other this week. A Marine Corps pilot ejected from their F-35 over South Carolina on Sunday, and experts believe the craft was still on autopilot when the pilot ejected. A 2-day search ensued for the $100 million jet, where it was finally located just 2 hours north of the base in North Charleston. The second jet crashed on the deck of the USS Carl Vinson in the South China Sea, injuring 7. Both pilots are alive and safe, though the military won't provide any details on why the pilot over South Carolina had ejected.
5 Americans are back on U.S. soil Tuesday after spending years imprisoned in Iran. They were freed as a part of a deal that includes releasing $6 billion in restricted Iranian funds and returning 5 Iranians that were in U.S. custody.
President Joe Biden celebrated their release, saying that 5 innocent Americans who were imprisoned in Iran are finally coming home. But Republicans are pushing back on the deal. Here's Laura Aguirre with more on that.
It's home sweet home for 5 Americans back in the States after years of detention in Iran.
Families were hugging, crying. People at some points hadn't seen each other in 8 years.
U.S. Special Envoy for Hostage Affairs Roger Carstens escorted the returning Americans home.
I was really struck by their strength, their resilience, their hopefulness, and their love for their country.
On Capitol Hill, many GOP lawmakers are criticizing the release of $6 billion in frozen Iranian funds and the return of 5 Iranian prisoners from U.S. custody.
Unfortunately, the deal that secured their release may very well be the latest example of President Biden rewarding and incentivizing Tehran's bad behavior.
This is a good deal. We essentially took Iranian money from a restricted account in South Korea and put it in a much more restricted account in banks in Qatar, where it's going to be monitored by the Department of Treasury, and it's only going to be used to buy humanitarian items.
For the families, the focus is now on healing and moving forward.
For the whole family, it's the greatest news we could have expected.
The uncle of one of the freed Americans, Siamak Namazi, says it was his nephew who kept the family's spirits high during Namazi's captivity.
He was so resilient. Instead of us trying to cheer him up, he was cheering us up. He wanted to show that, look, don't worry, I'm good, I'm doing good.
All 5 are now truly doing good at home. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Up next, preventing shin splints in student athletes.
And an alpaca just had to get his caffeine fix. We'll tell you more about about his trip to Starbucks. All of that next. You're watching Fast Track Live.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak, and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
All right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Or do you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the Co-Rec Climbing Wall.
Football. It's the best time of the year. You know what else is great? The world's largest and fastest mascot. You can't have Purdue football without the trains. Look for the Reamer Club outside Stewart Center, 12 to 5 p.m. on Fridays before home football games, for your chance to ride the Boilermaker Special for free. See you then!
You're watching Fast Track News.
Welcome back, Boilermakers, to another semester of Fast Track weather. Looking to be a great start today. Sunny skies in West Lafayette, high of 82 degrees with a low of 58. Sustainable wind speeds anywhere from 6 to 8 miles per hour with a 20% chance of rain across Tippecanoe County. So for your Friday forecast, it's a big day. The Boilermakers are taking on the Wisconsin Badgers today. 10 a.m. currently 68 degrees. Quickly rising temperatures by lunchtime, 77 degrees. By 3 p.m., already in those lower 80s, 81, sunny skies by 3 p.m. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight, Purdue versus Wisconsin. Ross-Ade looking to be a nice night, sunny skies, high of 79 degrees. By 10 p.m., 69 into our overnight hours. We'll be in those upper and mid 60s into this evening, into our overnight hours. For our weekend outlook, Friday, 82 degrees for the football game. Looking to be a nice night for hopefully a Boilermaker win. For Saturday, another nice day, 82 degrees being our high with a low of 58, sunny skies throughout the day. For Sunday, we'll see a little bit of decrease in temperatures, 78 being our high with a low of 58, some possible isolated showers throughout the day. So let's go ahead and time that out with our forecast, our local forecast for today. We are clear across Indiana, clear for Friday night and into Saturday, but for Sunday, we're tracking this line of storms out in the Midwest that could potentially produce some isolated showers and some thunderstorms with some lightning and thunder threats. We'll see this system really start to push through into Sunday evening and into Monday morning as well, producing some rain showers for next week. Our Sunday outlook looking to be a decent day. Expect some rain, 52 degrees for 6 a.m. By 9 a.m., 55 degrees. We'll start to see that sun to come out. Possibly some isolated sprinkles or two, but by noon we'll be at a solid 67 degrees. By 3 p.m. and into our early afternoon evening hours, high of 74 degrees for the day. By 7 p.m. and into our overnight hours, we'll be in those low 70s and mid 60s. For your 7-day outlook for Saturday, again to recap, 85 degrees. Take advantage of this nice day while we have it. By Sunday, supposed to be some sunny skies. Again, a few isolated showers here and there, high of 80 degrees. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday, some scattered storms throughout these next 4 days, mid-70s, consistent temperatures across the board for the most part, and by Friday of next week, we'll start to dry out, high of 76 degrees with a low of 54. Now back to Anna and John at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Julia. It's leg pain caused by some repetitive stress on the shin bone and the tissues attaching muscles to it. Shin splints often happen in people who run, dance, or anyone who switches up a training routine. The condition can also lead to other injuries if not treated properly.
In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to prevent shin splints in young athletes.
It's a common condition for athletes who overwork their lower legs. Shin splints are painful and need to be treated quickly.
You could potentially make it worse by trying to push through it.
Dr. Matthew Vosters with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says shin splints are preventable. And if you're returning to a sport after time off or trying to increase the intensity or vary your workout, take it slow.
We want to see gradual increases in that activity level, typically on the range of 10 to 15%. Just to ensure that you're not pushing that too hard, too fast.
Other key prevention steps: strengthening and stretching your legs, running on soft surfaces like a track or trail rather than cement, taking rest days to give your legs a break, and wearing proper footwear, replacing shoes every 350 to 500 miles. The footwear should have padding and good arch support. If you have flat feet, Voster says to make sure you wear insoles.
It kind of decreases that impact that eventually drives developing shin splints.
If you experience pain that becomes more localized and doesn't go away, it may be time to seek professional treatment.
If you are putting yourself in a situation where it's just getting progressively worse, then that would really be a big flag to come and see a doctor.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Vosters says resting your body is not only a prevention tip, but also part of the treatment plan for shin splints. He says to build in ample time to rest as part of any training regimen.
A nail-biting orca attack turned into a heartwarming rescue. This and more with Cole Higgins in today's Take a Look at This.
It's a nerve-wracking, caught-on-camera moment turned into an extraordinary rescue tale. A pod of orcas preying on a mother otter and her pup in Homer, Alaska.
Sucking up water.
An Alaska Sea Life Center wildlife response team member witnessed the incident while on a fishing trip with friends and sprang into action. Once it was clear the mother otter was not resurfacing and the orcas weren't returning for the pup, Natalie Hunter was able to get the newborn otter out of the water and to the Alaska Sea Life Center, where staff noticed this pup had a fresh umbilical cord, confirming the fuzzy patient was just a day or even hours old. Because northern sea otter pups get constant care and attention from their mothers until about 6 months of age, this adorable girl is under 24/7 care. From fur to scales, this alligator with the top half of its jaw missing was rescued after wandering around in Central Florida, and now she has a new home. The reptile is under the care of the team at Gatorland, Florida, where she will get to eat in what team members say is a stress-free environment and a paradise for gators. Gatorland is asking for help naming the grinning gator. May we suggest Chomp, Jaws, or maybe just Allie? And finally,
yes, I'd like a pup for my alpaca, please. Thank you.
This pair of pals surprised baristas at a Starbucks drive-thru in River Falls, Wisconsin. Video of Oliver the alpaca's adventure to the coffee shop has millions of views on TikTok. His owner, Carrie Harding, says she's using the attention to help educate the public about the woolly animals. For Take a Look at This, I'm Cole Higgins.
The Tide is rolling against Alabama this season.
The team is out of the top 10 for the first time since 2008. Don't go away. Keenan Taylor is here with sports. Right after this quick timeout.
The Center for C-SPAN, which is this organization, the CCSC, what we do is we facilitate like a bunch of organizations, different programs for Brian Lamb, which is the founder of C-SPAN. Anyone can be part of CCSC, whether it be through our various internships, our competitions, just to be involved, even like our student community meetings that we have every week. Anyone can go, you don't have to be communications or poli-sci. You just meet so many people, the connections you make is kind of crazy, the range that CCSC has. So yeah, it's just provided me so many opportunities to like kind of achieve the goals I have personally and forward to like whatever career paths I choose.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
Welcome back. I'm Keenan Taylor with a look at sports. First up, week 3 of the college football season. Here are 3 huge stories from this week. There is no doubt that Colorado and Deion Sanders have been the main story early on in this college football season. Sanders took over as head coach of the Buffaloes after a miserable 1-11 season last year. Since last season, the Buffaloes have had 73 scholarship players either transfer out or end their collegiate careers. Many question Sanders' decision to turn over the roster that much. However, this strategy has paid off so far, as Colorado has started 3-0. This week, they earned a hard-fought victory over in-state rival Colorado State. There's a different type of energy coming out of Boulder, as many celebrities were in attendance for the game. Some of these celebrities include Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Takeoff, and Kawhi Leonard. Colorado looks to keep its historic turnaround going against number 10 Oregon. Speaking of history, an SEC kicker broke the field goal distance record for the conference. Missouri kicker Harrison Mevis led Missouri to a surprising victory over number 15 Kansas State. Mevis lined up for the 61-yard game-winning field goal and absolutely drilled it. The kick moved Missouri to 3-0 with wins over South Dakota and Middle Tennessee. They take on Memphis next week. What a moment for Missouri fans. And finally, a traditional powerhouse is struggling early as Alabama has fallen out of the top 10 for the first time since 2008. Alabama won their first game of the season against Middle Tennessee, but lost their next game to Texas 34-24. Their struggles continued against South Florida as they only managed a 17-3 victory against the 1-2 South Florida Bulls, the same South Florida team that managed to give up 41 points to Western Kentucky and 24 points to Florida A&M. Alabama's biggest problems appear to be at the quarterback position. Alabama played 2 quarterbacks in this game. Both quarterbacks struggled mightily. Tyler Buchner started and completed 5 of 14 passes for 34 yards. He was pulled for Ty Simpson, who completed 5 of 9 passes for 73 yards. Alabama is going with a completely different quarterback next week in Jalen Milroe, who started the game against Texas but threw 2 crucial interceptions. He was later benched that game. Could this be the end of the Alabama dynasty?
We got more trouble for quarterbacks this week as Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson left the Colts game last week against the Houston Texans after hitting his head hard on the ground. Richardson is listed as questionable for next week's game against the Baltimore Ravens. Wasn't all bad news for the Colts as they still managed to win the game 31-20. Richardson scored 2 touchdowns before his injury. Gardner Minshew replaced Richardson, passing for a solid 171 yards and a touchdown. Regardless, the Colts are hoping for Richardson to be healthy for their next game. And now, an incredible comeback for a Minnesota high school football player who has been battling cancer. His community, including a local ice cream shop, has been rallying around the young man who is now back on the field. David Schumann reports.
It's a blessing that number 33 is even on the field.
I'm a lucky guy that I get to coach him.
Wayzata senior captain Jack Simon started Thursday night in their game against Shakopee. He's out there while his stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma is in remission.
And it's awesome just being out there every day, being with the guys, not having to worry about my health. It's a lot less anxiety than last year.
Overcoming his cancer wasn't the end of Jack's story.
Here you are.
In a Plymouth ice cream shop, Captain Jack Crunch gets the front row spotlight as flavor of the month. Honey and Mackey's worked with Jack to develop the brown sugar and butter-based ice cream.
I had a lot of input. They asked what my favorite types of foods were. I said cereal, and then we decided on Captain Crunch.
Very good.
Kelly Brown Real Estate Group is donating $1 to Wayzata's Tackle Cancer fundraiser for every scoop sold.
Could have easily said, you know what, this is tough and why me, and instead put his focus on helping other people and raising awareness.
What makes this fundraiser even more special is the personal connection. The owner of Honey and Mackey's son is a teammate here of Jack's. He's the quarterback and a fellow captain.
He is passionate about his cause, which is cancer and football.
Turning this horrible thing into something bigger than myself, it's been awesome seeing the community kind of rally behind me.
Cole Hybrid's pass is complete for a touchdown.
So far, more than 1,000 scoops of the Captain Jack flavor have been sold. What a story. Coming up next, you may have problems finding some Clorox products in your local store, and it's not due to a rise in COVID cases, but rather from a cyber attack. Erica Hong has the details after this short break.
Being involved in the 3-year program at Purdue made it easier to say to myself I could get done in 3 years. The 3-year program helped save me a ton of money. Not completing my 4th year, I would save around $30,000. It will give you an advantage, if anything. Doing the 3-year program at Purdue has shown me that I have motivation to do whatever it takes to get my degree.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
All right, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Or do you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the Co-Rec Climbing Wall.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us. A cyber attack at Clorox is causing wide-scale disruption of the company's operations, hampering its ability to make its cleaning materials. The company revealed in a regulatory filing Monday that it detected unauthorized activity in some of its information technology systems last month. Clorox says it immediately took actions to stop the hackers, including reducing its operations. While the company believes it has contained the cyber attack, it still has not been able to get its manufacturing operations back up to full speed. As a result, Clorox says some of its products are in short supply. The company hasn't stated which products were impacted. Clorox also says it expects to begin the process of returning to normal operations next week. However, they don't know how long it will take to resume full production. In entertainment news, a popular performer is back at #1, and an upcoming movie is to receive a first-of-its-kind honor. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Olivia Rodrigo's sophomore album, Guts, has debuted atop the Billboard 200 with the singer-songwriter's best week yet. Her first album, Sour, also started out at #1 on the Billboard 200, making Rodrigo the first female artist since Ariana Grande nearly a decade ago to debut her first 2 albums atop that chart.
On August 28th, black, white, young, old, rich, working class, poor will descend on Washington, D.C.
And on November 27th, the Gotham Awards will honor Rustin, the man and the movie. The 33rd Gotham Awards ceremony will include its first Icon and Creator tribute, honoring Bayard Rustin, the activist and organizer of the 1968 March on Washington, and celebrating the new film that tells his story. Rustin, starring Coleman Domingo, debuts in select theaters November 3rd and on Netflix November 17th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's a wrap for this live edition of Fast Track News. I'm Erica Hong from all of us here in the Fast Track studio. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
I mean, every year is different, but it hasn't changed that much. Our league is just ominous, and you better lace them up tight and be ready to play every night. If not, you're going to get beat.